here's what's going to happen. This is what the employee looks like here, the employee view. Like, bear in mind that there would be a mobile version. It'd be similar to this. It would just be a mobile version of it. Okay, but it'd
Okay.
have all the same abilities here. So with that said, just to kind of give you an idea, this is a clock that we can, one of the ways to clock in and out. Now we can set it up so that they can only clock in and out from certain locations, using the IP restrictions and the other ways that we talked about yesterday. Okay, so if they were at home, for example, and they clocked in, they wouldn't see or I'm sorry, if they logged into what we call the employee self-service portal here, they wouldn't see the clock, okay, but they would be able to see their time card, they'd be able to see their schedule, and they'll be able to request time off. And I'll show you those in just a second, okay?
Okay.
But I want to just give you an idea how simple and how easy it is to be able to use. So for example, right now, he's clocked in, Mike is, okay, and he clocked in at 7:25. Now let's say, for example, this clock right here, before I show you that, is what we call an intelligent clock, and it has what we call punch logic features. So basically what happens is the only thing he can do, he can't clock in again. The only thing he can do is clock out for the day. He can start a meal. Okay, we can even put breaks on here too, another button for start break and end break if you'd like us to, no problem. Okay, and then he can transfer as well. So let's say, for example, you want him to go somewhere else. I'm going to transfer to another branch. Let's say you want him to go to the Coldwater branch and work in TeamSpace. Okay, so you can do that, finish the punch, and it's that easy to do. So it makes it nice and simple for him to be able to do those actions, and it's all kind of intuitive, as you can tell how it works. It just kind of drives you right through it. Okay. Now, when
Yeah.
I do these transfers, I can make these optional, like I did right here, or I can make it so that they have to enter something. Okay, so you let us know what you want us to do. For example, I noticed at the other branches, you don't have these same programs listed anyway, other than at Coldwater. So that's why I put those in there. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So again, so we have the ability to customize that for you. So very simple, very easy to be able to do. Okay. So far, so good.
Oh, sure. Yep. Yep.
Okay, good. Now over here, we have the ability to, you have the ability to be able to have a message board. So here, for example, employee meeting last Friday of the month, breakfast will be served, because that always gets you there. Now, what happens is that I can send messages out to the whole team. I can send it out to individual branches. Folks that are assigned to specific branches, I can send it out to individuals as well. So I have a lot of flexibility here. Okay, so when they log in, they'll see this as well. Okay. So again, very easy, very, very simple for me to be able to do. Okay. Now, the employees here are going to, let's say, for example, he's going to have an early lunch. I'm going to start his meal, off to relax, and it's that easy. Now, notice he can't clock in again. He can't clock out. He can't do anything but end his meal, and that is all. Okay. So again, we want to make it so that they can't mess up. They can't make mistakes. The less mistakes they make, the less you have to fix. Okay, and that's kind of the idea here. All righty.
Yeah.
So I'm going to end my meal. There we go. And he's going to stay at the Coldwater branch. And then there you go. Okay. So again, simple and easy to do. Now on his time card, he is going to see here, the little tab up here. You're going to see, we'll set these pay periods up any way that you want. You mentioned they were biweekly. Is that right, John?
Yes.
Or was it semi-month? Okay, biweekly. Cool.
Biweekly.
That's what I wrote. That's what I wrote down. So I just want to make sure.
Mm-hmm.
And then what's going to happen is that we'll set these up any way that you need us to. Okay. So we'll set them up biweekly. I have my Monday through Sunday every other week. Okay. And this is the total hours so far that I've worked for the pay period. And it's going to keep track of my overtime. So right here for the week, I have 6.67 hours of overtime. So you were asking about yesterday, the system will do it for me. Okay.
Yeah.
So no problem at all to do. So 46 hours, I just did the OT after 40, and that's why it calculates that for me. Okay. Now down here, it has the hours for this week that I have. And then this little clock right here indicates that I'm clocked in for the day. Now, if I want to see what's happened for today, I can, you'll be able to see this on your end, but also Mike, in this particular case, that's whose card I'm looking at, 7:25 to 9:03. He was in Coldwater for 0.02 hours. Then he had his meal for 0.01. Obviously, they won't be that short. And now you know that he's clocked in at Coldwater here. Okay. So again, very easy to be able to do in the TeamSpace, and I didn't do the other prompt, but I could have. Okay.
Sure, sure. No,
So
thanks for doing that. It's nice.
yeah, no problem. So very easy, very simple for them to be able to see their time card. If you want the employees to approve their time, and right now, do you have them sign the card? Is that what you do as it stands, John?
No, we don't. So we're actually using a product very similar to this, but it only has the timekeeping functionality, and so um, we're familiar with that whole side of things. We're using when I work. That's something you're familiar
Okay.
with.
Yep. It is.
Uh,
It is.
but the main part of us looking forward is to integrate the HR stuff, and so when I work doesn't do anything like that, which is why we're looking
Yeah.
far field. So
Oh,
I
sure. Okay.
want to see more along that line if we can.
Okay. Nope. You got it. You got
Yeah.
it. So yeah, it's very, very similar scheduling, and then you can do time off requests is what you can do here as well. Okay. So very
And
easy, very simple to do. Go ahead.
yeah, question on the time off stuff. We have a mixture of designations, kind of like what I see there, but are those pre-canned or can we set those up? We have some people on.
Customize them any way you want.
Okay, great.
So yep, you bet.
That's
so
a continual annoyance when I work because it does not. They have a couple pre-canned categories and they don't fit our our office setting. So
I see. And the nice thing about it is
translation in your head.
Okay, yeah. And so the nice thing about ours, so
Mm-hmm.
with the just to give you an idea how easy it is to be able to do, with the categories right here, let me show you. I can add whatever I want right here, okay, and I can name it whatever I want to name it. So jury duty, whatever. Okay, I can name whatever I want it right here.
Nice. Okay, I'm glad to see this. I spent a lot of yesterday watching videos on the Vimeo video platform site.
Yes.
That I couldn't tell that they actually came from you. It was something called Payroll Server, but it showed screens like this repeatedly.
Yeah.
I was okay.
Yep, that's ours. That's us. So yeah,
okay,
you bet.
Great.
So yeah, very, very easy to do, as you can tell. Very simple to be able to to do these items here.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, it makes it nice and simple. So now you have the ability to be able to just show these items, and you can customize the. If I don't need the personal holiday, whatever, I'll just take them out. Okay. But again, we want to make sure that you have the ability to do whatever you need to do because it's your program. We want you just to be able to use it any way that you need to. Okay?
Yeah. Nice. Thank you.
So you bet. So yeah, not a problem. Not a problem to do that portion. Okay, so yeah, very easy to customize these right here. And then again, when I request time off, the same thing, similar probably to what you're doing right now. Okay, so very easy, very simple. You know what I'll do? Let me grab my. Let me see. Yeah, just one sec. I just want to grab my colleague here and see if he can help us with that portion, just to kind of show us this a little bit more. Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
I'm bringing my colleague on, and he is he's a lot more well versed at that. So I am going to just send this to him. That's what I'm going to do. Okay, sorry about that.
No problem.
There we go.
And that part of this package you call Workforce Hub, is that correct?
Exactly. Yep,
okay.
That's exactly right. So yep, he will. Oops. Yeah, he's kind of spearheaded that for our team, and he's like I said, he can answer those. So just to kind of give you an idea, he's jumping on here in just a second.
Okay.
So basically what happens is that now he's going to have the ability to be able to, or I'm sorry, you're going to have the ability to be able to see other items right here, just to kind of give you an idea. So when you log in, there'll be a dashboard here. Okay.
Yep.
So you'll see the employees. You'll be able to see the times that they've come in, just to kind of give you an idea. Everything listed right here in one spot and in one place. Okay. And again, as you see, the branches right here, and these fields are customizable here all these right here. So you can have as many columns as you want, or if you don't need these, we don't need to have them at all. Okay, just FYI. Okay,
Sure.
so just to give you an idea. Okay, so again, the nice thing is it's easy for the employee to be able to use, easy for you to be, excuse me, for you to be able to see the information, so you'll kind of see what's going on here as well.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so again, very easy. And then, like I said, with the integration, everything just kind of works together. So now, as far as running payroll, that type of thing, it all just has the ability to be exported, without having to do any manual entries. It just kind of exports over to the
I appreciate the
to
information density
Mhm.
on these screens versus the uh, the white space on the previous screens. Just as an aside here, like it's nice for the user to have all of that white space and be very clean in the interface, but I really appreciate being able to see everything at a glance like this on these screens.
Makes it nice, doesn't it? Because you want to see everybody at a glance, whereas the employees just need to see their own stuff, obviously. So that's why we want to do that, yeah, to make it easy. Hey, I can see at a glance here what's going on when they clocked in, where they are. So no, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I think Nate's on. Nate, do I have you on the line as well?
Yes, guys, I'm here. How you doing, John?
Nate,
Yeah, nice to meet you.
As well.
Hey Nate, they're using When I Work, and so he knows a lot about the timekeeping portion. He's went on and watched a ton of our videos already, and what he's interested just to see is more of the onboarding and how that portion works, the HR portion. So and I know you've done that quite a bit. So if you wouldn't mind just maybe just kind of giving him a good overview of what that looks like. Is that okay? Am I doing that? I'll give you control. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give Nate control here. And please feel free to ask questions. Obviously, we just want to make sure that we get you all the information that you need, and he'll bring it up here in just one second. While he's doing that, any other questions that you had on this portion, or based on what you're using, it's pretty straightforward. So,
Yeah, no, that all looks great. Thank you.
okay, all righty, awesome.
Yeah, so John, tell me a little bit about what you currently do for your onboarding. Is it all done through When I Work?
No, the When I Work doesn't have anything beyond the time and attendance. And we have been using just spreadsheets and paper records for all of our HR business. So we're looking to no longer do that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's consuming, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
With our system, and it sounds like your payroll provider uses a platform that we fully integrate with, which is awesome because it allows us to introduce an HR component that ties together with not only timekeeping but also scheduling. So it's a suite of products. There's some really cool features that the employees can utilize as well. So right now, do your employees have a way to access previous check stubs or quickly access their tax information, W-4, I-9,
Right.
and then access direct deposits, change addresses, anything like that? Do they have a quick and simple way to view that information, or are they constantly coming and harassing you and your HR officer if they need something like that?
Yeah, fortunately not me, but yes, our person that handles HR, yep, they're getting it all the time.
Are they? Okay. Well, I'll kind of quickly show you that because it all kind of ties together. You should be able to.
Hey Nate, if I can interrupt here for a second, and that's why John's been tasked with this, to make everybody's lives a little easier, and so including the HR person, obviously. So that's why he's kind of looking around just to make sure that we're a good fit, that would be good for their organization there. So yeah, he's gathering everything and making recommendations. Is that accurate, John? Is that?
Yeah, yeah. Our board, we're a public library in Michigan, and we're a unit of local government. The way it works in Michigan, independent with the governing board, and they have directed me to get us software to do this. So we have the mandate. We just have to have all the ducks in the row and then make a decision. Yep.
Okay. Can I ask what your position is? Are you?
I'm the head of IT and the assistant director, so I kind of have a lot of hats but all of those job roles fall into a decision like this.
Okay, yeah, because
Yeah,
they all affect each other. So
exactly.
right on. Well, like I said, this system will definitely bring together a few different aspects and streamline the whole process and make everyone's lives much easier as well as save time. And it's going to digitize everything. So you can get rid of the spreadsheets, you can get rid of a lot of the manual entry, because what this system will do is it allows you to upload documentation, save it in the system, and have it ready to go for your onboarding process. Okay. Then you have a dashboard that your HR officer can access to keep track of all those new hires, keep track of current personnel, keep track of departments, wages. So it's a really easy system to use. So let me just show you briefly the employee side and what they gain if you choose to move forward with SwipeClock, right? So you can see my screen, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so this is just a demo account, but what will happen is you will have a login screen similar to this. It will even have your company name if you
Mhm.
want to tailor it. You know, you can change the colors and the layout. But what this will do is this upgrades the employee portal that Alex previously showed you. Okay,
Mhm.
so if we introduce what we call Workforce Hub, it's going to bring together more of the HR component for the employees to have at their fingertips. So it's got the same overall layout with the web clock right here front and center. It's got all the same quick links and tabs, except we've added the HR and the history. Okay. If you look over here, we've got different features that we can turn on. So we can turn on a message board or an anonymous tip center if you want. So if you have like a anonymous suggestion center, you can
Uh-huh.
turn on a feature that allows employees to go in there and make suggestions anonymously. So they don't get into any type of trouble if they want to suggest, you know, like a 12-hour work week or something like that, you know, something crazy.
Right.
We've also got messages, which is a little bit different because these are not anonymous and these are pushed out from supervisors or managerial personnel. And it's any type of messaging that you want. So company parties, seminars coming up, you know, whatever you want, any type of message you want to push out. You can push them out to individual employees or you can send them as a whole to everybody that is on the list to receive those messages. Okay. Some of the cooler stuff is the employee documents, and that's going to give the employees visibility and quick access to previous check stubs. Okay, and that will link over Thomson Reuters, and they'll be able to view and see their check stubs. Same with the W-2 and tax information. So if it's I-9s, W-4, W-2s, whatever, they can go in there, make changes on the fly if they need to, update addresses, update any other information. It's all right there at their disposal. Okay.
Yeah.
The hub docs and links, this is where we get into the onboarding process for new employees. It's also where you can store any type of sensitive documentation that personnel need to access. So best practice, updates with you know, reorganization or structure, employee handbooks, I mean, whatever you want, right? And you can have it visible to all, or you can send personalized information to just an employee, right? So if it's a disciplinary action or a increase in wages, a promotion to a new department, you can send them sensitive documentation and it won't be visible to all employees who access this portal.
Copy of their own personal contract for the contracted employees, that sort of thing.
Correct, yeah. So
Great.
you can control what is uploaded in here, but we do have templates that are already in here. So there's direct deposit templates, there's I-9, W-4, W-2, there's emergency contacts. So there's already templates stored in the system, but then we just go in there and we customize and tailor them to your specific state and compliance laws and regulations and things of that nature. Okay, so that is some of the features that we turn on for the employee. And you can pick and choose which features you want. So if you don't want the message board, if you don't want the anonymous tip center, if you don't even want to turn on the docs and the links, except for new employee onboards, you can do that. So it's all customizable and you tailor it to what your specific needs are. Okay?
Yeah, sounds great.
Yeah. So any questions on what the employees can see, what they can access?
No, not yet.
No, not yet? Okay. So all I did was I clicked on my name right here. I'm not Alyssa Hutton, but this is her account. And this is where you can access just your settings, some of your payroll tasks, if you need to update personal information, reset your password, you know, basic, simple stuff. Okay. Let me sign out of the employee and let me sign in as an administrator. So as an administrator, they will have their own hub dashboard or portal that they will log into. So this will be separate from SwipeClock. They do have separate credentials at this time, so there is no quick link over from the timekeeping and scheduling system into this portal because they are separate systems. Hopefully, in the near future, we will have a quick single sign-on, so it'll link you over from the timekeeping into this HR portal. Okay, but what this does is you've got the same style of layout. So you've got your main dashboard where we sit right here. It's got employee documents, check stubs at a quick glance, and then you've got new hire statistics right here in the center. And that is a lot of what this system is about, is in onboarding new employees. Now, what will happen is as you upload them into Thomson Reuters, or into your payroll software, excuse me, they are automatically pushed into the timekeeping system and into this HR system. So you don't have to double and triple entry those employees. Okay. Once they are loaded into the system, they are then sent an email forcing them to register. And once they register, they will then have access into that portal that we just looked at. Okay. And if I click on any one of these guys, whatever documents you require to be filled out for your onboarding process, they will be in there ready to go for that employee to start filling out. Okay. And everything is done through digital signatures, which they can go into their system and save. So if you send them a quick document that they need to fill out, they can just review it. If they need to populate any of the fields, they can. But then they have an e-signature ready to go, and they can submit that over, and you will be notified through this dashboard. Okay? So all of the documents that they are needing to fill out are going to be right here, visible for the HR officer to see. Okay? So everything is ready to go. And again, we tailor this to what specific forms you need. And we just get them all uploaded and ready to go. And then this just gives you pedigree information, you know, first name, last name, hire date, full-time, part-time, all of the basic information to get them started. As they flow through the system, it is going to give you real-time updates of their progress. So you can see here that this employee has filled out everything, so she is ready to go. She's got access into her portal. She can start punching in and out. We'll be tracking time off if that's something that you offer. So all the forms are ready to go. She's in the payroll software. She's done in a matter of
Ask you about that time off tracking that you just mentioned.
Yes.
How flexible are the rules for setting up the time off accrual, PTO accrual, that sort of thing?
It's very flexible. With our system, it's a customization that we provide, and there's unlimited possibilities, right?
Okay.
Down to the basic front-loaded option where we give you 40 hours right as you're a new hire, or maybe 90 days after, and you use those 40 hours throughout the year or you lose it.
Yeah.
All the way over to if you work X amount of hours per paycheck, we're going to give you X amount of hours of accrued paid time off. And it's not a use it or lose it system. You can roll that over each and every year up into a certain number, whatever the case may be. We just have a form that you'll fill out, And during implementation, you're assigned a rep, and they actually build your account, make sure that the integration is ready to go and works seamlessly with your payroll provider. And they just work with you to make sure that we can set up that pay time off tracking so that it accrues
Sure.
and tracks accurately.
And can you have different profiles so that one class of employee has one way of accrual and another, another?
Yeah. So if it's based off of tenured, if it's based off of part-time or full-time, yeah, you can have multiple rules in there so that
Okay.
different departments can accrue that time off differently. Absolutely.
Great, thanks.
Yeah. So besides the onboarding, what other HR components were you looking for?
Yeah, I mean, basically anything to do with an employee's life cycle. So performance evaluation type stuff, or feeding in those documents of when they've had formal training and we need to record that. Just any kind of paper trail that would typically be in an envelope right now in a filing cabinet. How can we integrate that into something that is both more accessible and has an audit trail, hopefully, for who has modified what when, hopefully different. I know I'm dropping a lot here, so bear with me.
Not at all.
And then hopefully some sort of level of access control that, like, could an auditor come in with read-only access and see all of this information but not change any of it? Could a manager be assigned the ability to see only their employees and not the whole organization, that sort of thing?
Yes. So the short and quick, dirty answer to everything you just said is yes.
Okay.
Our system is unlimited as far as the amount of documentation that you can upload into the system. It's not like you have to pay for a certain amount of storage, and then once you hit that, you have to pay for more. So whatever documentation you currently require, we just get that uploaded to the system so that it's ready to go for all those onboardees and even existing employees. So if you do annual performance reviews, all the way down to merit increases, promotions, whatever the case may be, we can put that in here. And then under each employee, you've got your main dashboard here. So you would simply just select the employee that you want to view. And under their file cabinet, this is where, excuse me, the file cabinet is where all of that documentation is stored. So currently, there's no one central view that shows you their history. I had another client who was interested in that type of view, but the timekeeping system will track if an employee, or excuse me, when an employee starts, the wage that they may start at, the department that they start in. Then if they are promoted or if they get transferred to another department and they make a different wage, the timekeeping system can track that through the employee history, through their profile, okay? But as far as the HR and documentation goes, that's all going to be stored under their employee profile in the file cabinet. So whatever documentation you have in here, that's going to be readily available to be viewed by your HR personnel. We do have different layers of login where you've got the director or the supervisor login. That's, the all-seeing eye. They have access into everything. Then we've got a manager level login, and with that login, you can distinguish who they're able to see in the system and what they're able to access and what they're able to edit, if anything at all. And then the last login is just the lonely old employee, where all they can access is their own information. So they can have access into their portal, but everything that they would need to view would be accessed through their portal that we viewed before we jumped into this administrative view. Okay? So as far as tracking that information, that's not a problem whatsoever. You can also set up alerts. So if you've got somebody who is approaching a performance review, or if someone is approaching their hire date or an anniversary, so you can set up real-time alerts that go out to emails, and you can push those out to managers and supervisors, whoever you have in the system. You do have different types of reporting as well. So,
wait, hold on. I just noticed Monica Bellucci works at this organization. That's fantastic.
Monica Bellucci. Did I?
I
Oh,
love it.
right there. Who put that? That's so funny.
I love it.
Kelly Mitchell. Someone's got a sense of humor, right?
Yeah. Hey, so about your administrator, supervisor, that top level login you mentioned,
Yeah.
and there can be multiple ones of those, so there's not just like one person with all the keys?
Correct. Yes.
Okay, great.
Yeah. So you can have unlimited administrators working in this system. And if they do make changes, I believe similar to the timekeeping, it will leave a record of who went in there and made that specific change to a record or an employee profile. So that
Okay.
way it's completely transparent. There's a paper trail there.
Right. Good.
What else can I show you? We've got history, just a quick view of what, and if anything's been uploaded, you know, employee onboarded. So just a quick history. And you've got your admin here. And the cool thing is you can customize the look of this entire platform or this user interface. So you can change the color. You can't necessarily change the layout, but it'll have your company name. You can change, you know, the color. What
Right.
else? So
Sure.
just make it more tailored, you know, to what you guys prefer.
Yeah.
Hey Nate, can I just ask, so John, is this kind of what you're looking for, something like this, kind of a flow like this, what Nate's showing
Great,
you?
I love it.
Okay, great.
Yeah. I noticed on the HR tab a second ago, the new hires part. Can you tell me how that process might work in terms of, does this platform allow you to accept applications and run them through a hiring process and then like just shift them directly to an employee if they're hired, or just, can you talk about that a bit?
That is a very good question. So we are currently in the process of introducing an application system into our workforce hub. So we recently acquired another company that deals with the application process. And I believe what the overall goal is to have it funnel all seamlessly together, right? So once you get that application, it's accepted, you load it up into here, then they are pushed into the payroll platform. Once they're in that payroll platform, they're going to be set up in the HR system, they're going to be set up in the timekeeping and the scheduling component. From there, this or any particular employee, so you can see any green means that it's waiting for the supervisor review. So the employee has completed all their documentation. So now the HR officer in charge of this onboarding needs to come in here, review all this documentation, make sure that it's complete, it's accurate, it's not missing anything. They're going to sign off it. They're going to save and continue. They are now in the system ready to go.
Okay.
Once that happens, the employee is going to be sent an email through Workforce Hub telling them to get their profile set up, right? And then
Hey,
from there,
Nate, if I could, oh, I'm sorry. I was just going to say that's definitely the goal. I mean, you know, we had a big meeting, and just, you know, by purchasing that company, it's for that very reason that you just said, John. A lot of folks bringing people on, you know, so from beginning to end to be able to do all those items, that's what we want to do.
Sure.
You being a technology guy, you know, it just takes time to get all those integrations done. But yeah, that's certainly the goal of having it all work together. So.
Okay.
Yeah. So that'll be available hopefully later on this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so this, I mean, all sounds great. I think you've covered every question that I had already written down ahead of time in your presentation, and you've answered the ones that I've asked. Alex, I have I guess a follow-up with you.
Yeah.
Does the price quote that you had given me yesterday, does that include this Workforce Hub?
Includes all this right here. Yep.
Oh, okay,
includes
great.
all of it. Yep. Did I send you out a formal quote yesterday?
No, we just did it over the phone. But if you
No. Here, I'll send it out to you right now. That way you have it in writing,
okay.
and then we'll go ahead and then you'll go ahead and have it then. Okay, John.
Oh, perfect. Yeah.
All righty, John. We appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and yours. Thank you so much. This has been great to see all this.
Thank you, Nate,
Yeah.
for your time.
Thanks, John. Thanks, guys.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Okay. So are we done then?